Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving Schools.
Hello and welcome to Oh When the Town. First home game with our new manager in control ends in a 0-0 draw. 1 point stops the rot a little bit, I suppose, and gives us some shoots of encouragement. So we're going to talk about the game in a little bit more detail as usual. It was our first clean sheet since we played Hull City. And we asked you guys, how do you feel about our manager's first game? Of course, we're going to talk about that a little bit more as well. We've got your 3-word reviews, a little bit more than that as well. Maybe even an update on the score predictions, which nobody else apart from us is interested in. And if you're looking on YouTube, you'll see that there's just the two of us here tonight due to Darren's got a few things to do and Bataro couldn't make it. He has a few things to do as well. So it's just me and Steve. Steve, thanks for coming along, fella.
That's okay, no problem. Is it disappointing when it's just you and me because we don't actually like each other?
Well, that's true. So we'll get through this as quick as we can, folks. Well, I want to start by saying, and I know you're going to tell me something different, but I was bloody freezing at the weekend and the football didn't really warm me up.
No. I thought the football was slightly better, but maybe you should buy yourself some heated socks, for example. You know,
you've got heated socks.
I had some Amazon vouchers for Christmas, and my feet are always absolutely bloody freezing. And I thought I'm going to become an old man, so I had some socks, battery in each one, 3 different heat levels. And whilst I wasn't sitting there thinking my feet are hot, they weren't cold.
Steve, you're younger than me, man.
I know.
If anybody else has got heated socks, please leave a comment on the YouTube. I've never heard of heated socks before. Look, it was the first game back at Kennel Pro. 2-for-1 beers, thanks very much if you got there early enough to take advantage of those. Or 2-for-1 drinks, should I say, not just beers.
I wasn't aware of that.
What?
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, it was
I could have had 2 coffees.
No, the hot drinks weren't included. There you go. Well, they might have been. I don't know. I obviously wouldn't drink hot drink on a cold day, would I? Let's be fair. And you're right. There were seeds of encouragement there, Steve. You know, I thought. You know, I know we're going to talk about it in more detail. I thought at some points we were quicker than we had been before. A nice reception for Matt Bloomfield.
Yeah. Pretty flat atmosphere though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really?
Because I think we wanted more. He was hoping for more. You know, given the fact that we've been pretty poor all season, with the obvious exceptions of the games that we loved this season. Well, the one perfect game really. It's been flat there all season, don't you think?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I know it's easy for the fans to react to good performance and exciting play. Maybe sometimes have we got to maybe sort of go the extra sort of mile and.
It's difficult, Steve.
Yeah, I know it is, especially when it's so bloody cold as well.
I think what's difficult is there are a group of supporters clearly down where I stand who try and get things going.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then there are a group of supporters up where you live.
Yeah.
Where you sit.
Yeah, and it's entertained me.
Yeah, and then it's not, you know, the new stadium might work, that we might work out where you're going to be and that might be different, but they did their best, to be fair. Yeah. But there was nothing to cheer about.
No, there isn't. And, you know, I mean, Preston were a dire opposition as well, weren't they? I mean, it wasn't one for people that wanted to be royally entertained. I thought Preston were pretty miserable, to be honest with you.
I think their away form's not brilliant. No. But they were poor and they were there. I think we said before we come on, you know, they were sort of there for the taking, weren't they? I've genuinely never seen the lowest expected goals from any team.
What was it? 0.01.
0.01.
So we kicked their asses on the XG.
It makes no difference, does it? Shall we just talk about your 3-word reviews first? And Steve, you can pick 2 because it's just me and you here tonight.
Thank you.
3-word reviews. Steve said a promising start. LTFC Dave, deserved clean sheet. Larrick, work in progress. Sam, flat second half. Joanne said small improvements made. Gary, better defensive performance. Chris, back 4 better. Rhiannon, clinical striker needed. Kieran, some positive signs. And Ian, and a few others, and me, we didn't lose. Do you want to take a couple?
Yeah, Larrick, work in progress. I mean, I think it was like a fresh start, so there was more optimism in that regard. But, a manager is going to take quite a long time to get all of their sort of ideas over, because you can't just barrage people with information and expect it all to be taken in. It's going to be a little bit of information, then you work on it in the training ground, and then it sort of develops over a period of time.
Problem is we
ain't got a lot of time.
We haven't got a lot of time.
No, that's right. Which is why I went with Rhiannon, clinical striker needed. We've got to get more goals.
Well, firstly, are we expecting him to go back to Wickham and try and get their one?
Well, I think it's
and
obvious.
Is he going to be good enough stepping up?
I haven't seen him play, to be honest with you. I've not been. I know that Wickham have done well this season, but I've not been looking at sort of down the division, so I don't know. I think there's other clubs at our level that are also looking at him, so it's not just a punt in the dark, and the boss is going to know him better than sort of nearly anyone else. But to me, we just got to sort of take those half chances, and really maximise anything. I mean, his interview for pre-Oxford, which I watched tonight, he said, it was the most we'd been in the final third all season. I think it was like 52 or 53 times.
But
yeah,
there's a big but there, though. We didn't create much.
No, that's right. But if you're not in the final third, then you're not going to be creating it. So I see where he's coming from. You're invariably only going to create if you are in that part of the pitch anyway.
Some people would look at what we've done, and we talk about strikers, and some fans would say, well, Joe Taylor went to Huddersfield and scored on his debut. Mm-hmm. Why did we let him go?
Well, I think he wanted to go, though, didn't he? And I don't blame him. He wasn't given a sniff for whatever the reasons were. He nearly went previous window, so he wanted to go. So if that was plain and obvious, would he have been sort of had his real heart set on sort of doing well? Yeah, he scored a goal. Fine. I hope he does well, but also I feel he's the sort of player where you need to be having creative midfielders that are sort of putting it through the channels, and we have not got a creative midfielder. We are dying for some creativity in midfield, as far as I'm concerned.
Do you not think that Krause and Clark played well at the weekend?
I think that they played pretty well, yeah, but they're not creative players. They're not people. What Clark should be. But we are not creating those clear-cut opportunities. I thought Clark put in a lot of work. I thought Krause did. I thought Krause won the ball back on quite a few occasions. However, Krause is not going to split the defence in half, and open it up. And Clark really hasn't been doing that a lot either.
Not this season, but has in the past.
Yeah, I know, but how,
He got man of the match,
Yeah, I used to be slim. No, but you can't go on what you used to be or what you used to do. It's what you're doing in the recent history. That's what counts.
Okay, but did Clark deserve man of the match? In my opinion, I think he deserves some recognition for his performance at the weekend.
I thought he played well. Personally, I thought that was Nakamba's best game since before he got injured. I thought he was much more up to speed. Still reluctant to pass the ball forwards. I think the manager described him as a careful passer. He's neat with the ball. But I thought he was much more up to speed about being sort of there for the tackle. So he's either injury-free for the first time in ages, or there was a scout there.
Well,
I'm sure it was injury-free.
It'd be lovely to have all our injured people back. And I know, as we record, we know that Alfie's back in the squad for the Oxford game.
Yeah.
However, on Saturday, Bloomfield made 4 changes to the team in his first game in charge. Hashioka, Kraus, Clark, and Browning for Waters, Walsh, Fanay.
Yeah.
Fanny.
Fanar.
And Nelson.
Yeah. I thought Hashioka played well.
Yeah, he's playing in his right position.
Yeah, I know. Again, countless times through the years, we've judged people on performances they've put in, and they're out of position. But he was just really solid. You could see that there was a determination not to make those stupid mistakes defensively.
He made some good runs, he made some good passes, and he made some good interceptions.
Yeah.
He was in a good position most of the game.
Yeah. No, I was really pleased with his performance.
Was you surprised to see Jacob Brown starting, for instance, and not Elijah?
I was, but I think maybe he was hoping for a bit more pace up front, maybe someone that would run the channels, but it wasn't his best game.
No,
Jacob
sadly
Brown.
not.
I thought he had a poor game.
What do you look from a player like him?
Control to start with. I thought the ball didn't stick to him at all well, to be honest with you. Players like him, I want him looking for sort of pockets of space, feeding off flick-ons from Colton. And Colton looked quite isolated at times.
Yeah.
And really, I think he would have been picked to be sort of, in and around Colton, feeding off, flick-ons. But
I was about to say
that really didn't happen at all, to be honest with you. I thought it was a poor game.
But let's start by saying to any Preston fan that's listening to this, your team was pretty poor, and they were above us in the league. I get that. But it was a pretty poor. They clearly didn't come to win.
No, and really they should have done. If their manager and coaches had done their homework, watched the games, they'd have seen that a bit more adventure, and they could have done it. I mean, and Bloomfield said himself, clean sheet, great. We're going to have much sterner tests going in towards the end of the season.
But this month is crucial to us. We've got some good games here.
That was one of the winnable games, wasn't it, that we've discussed?
In inverted commas, winnable. And Tuesday night against Oxford, and the following one after that, and Sheffield Wednesday. And you can think, and then we've got a really tough month. And if we get nothing out of this, then we could get cut adrift, and that would be terrible. Yeah,
I mean, we're nowhere near cut adrift at the moment. I mean, it's such a crazy division. We could get 2 wins, and we're mid-table. So, points-wise, we're not in dire straits. However, we can't be waiting. Oxford is going to be a really difficult game.
Of course
it's a game that we can win, but it's equally a game that we can lose. They're in good form. They've got a good manager. They're high in confidence. They've had a couple of wins. So that's going to be a difficult one.
Oxford, Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland. You might as well give that one up.
Why?
Because I think they're on top form, mate.
That's the sort of game we win.
Well, not this season. It hasn't been, has it?
No, but it was in the
past.
then
Sheffield United at home.
Yeah.
So we got 2 big games against teams season and the season before.
We were competing with
them, but at the moment you don't feel that we can.
No.
So this game against Preston, really we should have done better. However, let's start. Let's be a little bit more positive, folks, because actually we did start the game quite fast, and I thought, wow, we're pinging the ball around a little bit quicker. And I've read some comments on social media that said the opposite. We were slow getting the ball out, and I'm thinking, no, I don't think we were. I thought we kept possession well, and I thought we played it. We were quicker. Now, whether that is because of a new system by the manager, or whether it's because the players want to impress the manager on the proper games, I'll take that. A good bit of possession, and McGuinness had a shot in the first half. I thought, oh, that's close.
Yeah. I mean, first half more than second half, but I think it was in the first 5 minutes. Colton was sort of just inside right, to be really old, back to goal, and the ball was passed to him, and he sort of just helped it on its way up the wing first time. Yeah. Really zipped the pass straight onto Isaiah Jones, and he didn't get given the ball anywhere near enough. He's got pace to burn, and I really liked the look of him. So second half, he didn't get the ball a lot. We've really got to try and work on that.
I genuinely now sit back and I can't think. I haven't watched the highlights because
No, I haven't.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. But I can't generally think of a real clear-cut opportunity that we had. Maybe one or two. I tell you, the best one for me is the cross from Kraus. I mean, that was a brilliant move.
Yeah.
A fantastic cross.
Yeah.
And then no strikers in there to put it in.
No, that's right. And but that was really good build-up play. There was also one where Jacob broke on the left-hand side and sort of passed it on sort of like a 45-degree angle to Colton. But Colton was making like a diagonal run. He was at full pelt and he just couldn't take it in. You know, I think he was trying to sort of control and shoot to his right. I think the only way he could have played it really would have been just to trap the ball or backheel it slightly to Jacob if he'd have carried on his run. But it just seemed that the final pass in was difficult and that we're not flowing in that area.
Why are our strikers failing this season? I mean, because, look, they were Premier League strikers last season.
Yeah.
And they were scoring against tougher opposition than we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
And this season, nothing. What's happened there, do you think?
Better quality service, because Alfie was playing really well last season. You had Lakonga that was putting the ball through. You had Ross Barkley putting the ball through as well. The lad that we had from Man City, the right back on loan.
Kabore.
Yeah, Kabore. You know, he was erratic, but he wasn't shy to get the ball over. You know, so I think that there was a lot more crosses coming into the box, and also centrally there was a threat as well because Barkley could always pick out a pass.
One of the biggest criticisms of Rob Edwards was that he didn't change the team in time to make an impact in some games. Bloomfield made a triple change with 15 minutes ago. Should that have been earlier, or are you thinking 15 minutes?
Well, it was 5 to 10 minutes better, but no, I would have liked it 5-10 minutes before that, because the second half was just drifting along, wasn't it? And I think we needed to really inject
something in,
and show intention.
Yeah, Elijah, Moses, and Nelson come on. Elijah didn't look up to it to me. No, he didn't get any. Well, firstly, he didn't really get many opportunities, but he didn't look.
No, he's chasing the ball down wasn't aggressive as it can be. One thing I did like, Moses came on much higher up the pitch.
Yeah,
he didn't do a great deal, but he put him in a much more familiar position. So I was pleased to see that. And again, maybe he'll see players that should be here aren't worthy of being here, and stuff like that. But again, it's about putting people in their preferred positions where we can.
We're sitting here talking about the game, and we're not talking about chances, and we're not talking about play because there wasn't that much of it.
No,
a second half particularly was a bit staid, wasn't it? I just felt we didn't really create anything. One golden opportunity. You score. I got the feeling you score one goal against Preston North End, and we're going to get 2 or 3.
But I think one would have been enough, to be honest with you.
One would have been happy. I'd have been happy enough to break that rock. There were a few boos going around the stadium, and I don't know why. I don't know if that was against the team, the players, the ref. I don't know why. I heard some boos.
Well, I can't think it was. I thought that was one of the better refs. There was 3 or 4 occasions where he played an advantage, and then he pulled it back if it didn't work out. We seldom see that in the Championship. So I thought he was really good with that. I don't recall any howler decisions. I might be wrong, but I thought he was one of the better refs. Maybe it was just frustration, where you've got that hope of getting the win on the first game. It might have been the players. I mean, it can't have been the manager. For Christ's sake, he's only been in there 15 minutes. So I don't think it was anything to do. I think it was more just frustration at not winning. But
because you could see as a fan that game was totally winnable. Given our form this season, even that game was totally winnable. But you could have said the same when we went their place. Yeah,
and again, up at their place, first half particularly, I thought we controlled the ball for decent periods of time. I remember that day, the final ball in was an absolute shocker every single time. But back to Saturday's game, Dave, the midfield as an attacking threat is non-existent. You know, that's got to change. It's got to change. But also, I don't know if it is down to tactics where the manager said, you know, I want us to hold our shape, you know, to protect that clean sheet. But there was 3 or 4 occasions, particularly first half, where Amari had the ball. There was loads of space in front of him, you know, and he would naturally drive into that area, go for it. And he didn't. There just seemed such a reluctance to attack. And one of the things he said in all the interviews he's done is about being brave with the ball, particularly in the final third. You know, being prepared to make a mistake or misplace a pass in the final third. There was several occasions where, as a team, we were reluctant to drive into space, force the issue, force them back, and attack aggressively. And I can only think that that's down to a lack of confidence, because Amari is naturally, you know, an attacking player, but it just wasn't there. And as I say, a couple of times he just stopped and didn't go into a space that was right there in front of him.
It's encouraging that we didn't concede. We had the first clean sheet for 12 games, I think.
Yeah,
that's encouraging. But then when you think Preston North End, their away form is as bad as ours. They've won 1 in 18. You know,
must be great to be a Preston fan.
Yeah, well, they're still above us, mate.
For now. No, as I say, it's the first game, clean sheet, good, point, good. Obviously, everyone wanted the 3. You know, we are where we are.
Like I say, we stopped the rot. We stopped the defeats. Now we need to push on and get an away win at Oxford. And that's not going to be any easy game there, is it?
No, I mean, no, because, you know, Rowett is a decent manager at this level. He knows how to set up a team. He knows how to find weaknesses in other teams as well. So, yeah, I mean, I say they've had some good wins. Their striker scored a beauty of a free kick at the weekend. You know, they're going to be up for it. They're going to expect to beat us,
and that's disappointing, isn't it? Because, you know, there've been games where we've gone there. I mean, that was for me the turning point of one of our seasons, the 2-1.
Yeah, Potts.
The 2-1 where the disallowed goal when we thought we won it, and then almost do the identical thing and win the game, and that really pushed us on, and we ended up shooting up the leagues, you know. But Oxford right now are loving life in the Championship.
Yeah, but Dave, it's only going to take. I know it's only going to take a couple of wins, a couple of new faces in the door, and it just looks so different. I mean, you know, QPR, they've had an upturn in fortune and form, you know, and it's not really come out of anything. You know, that they got a win, they got a bit of confidence, and then they've just gone from there. And with this stupid division, you know, they've gone from being right down the bottom to sort of thinking, oh, well, the playoffs isn't too far away. Yeah. You know, and there's absolutely no reason why we can't do that, because when the players are on form, you know, they are capable of doing it, but we've got to get a goal scorer.
Yeah, and that is apparent, isn't it? Because, you know, they've not been prolific at all. We've scored 2 goals in 6 games. Yeah. And open play goals have been hard to come past.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if we can get that result and get in front at Oxford and keep in front at Oxford. Avoid the chant about how rubbish they might be because we're winning away.
I've never understood that one.
But that's what we're hoping for, is it? On Tuesday night, if you listen to this on the way to Oxford, good luck. Let's hope we have a great game.
I'd like a 1-0 would be great.
I don't care how nasty it is. I just want to win away. It's enough time. I've been to as many as I can this season away, and it's not been very happy, is it? You know, Coventry, we should have done better. Preston, we should have done better.
The whole of that second half at Coventry, you saw it coming.
You could almost feel it coming. Preston, we should have done better. Plymouth, we should have done better. It's Queen's Park Rangers. Oh, goodness sake, stop reeling them off. So, can Matt turn it around on Tuesday night, and can he give us our first away win in 9? Is it 9 or 10 now?
Well, I think we've lost 10 on the trot, haven't
10.
we?
Oh,
yes, so this would be our first win in 11. But he can, God. You know, again, it's really, really early days, but he again, his press conference for the Oxford game, he said that he did identify quite a few things from the game and in training. So again, if he can just make those little changes here and there, sort of quite quickly, who knows? And it's only going to take a win for the confidence to be really good, get that feel-good factor. I think they've probably almost forgotten the feel-good factor of a win.
Well, I'm hopeful we'll be there. So let's hope that works. So, how did you feel? If you could sum up very quickly Matt's first game in charge, what do you think?
Without the ball, acceptable, fine. With the ball, yeah, it wasn't a lot better than what we have seen with the ball. Let's
quick. Look, everybody else said about it. So it was our first clean sheet since Hull at home, and we did ask you guys, how did you feel about our new manager's first game? Mark said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I saw enough positive signs to think that Matt Bloomfield might be the right man to take us forward. He stopped the run of losing games and got us a clean sheet, and now he just needs to get us scoring from open play again. An overall positive start. You can't really argue with Mark there, can you?
No.
Luke Nye says, much more solid setup. Back four looked a lot happier. Midfield actually existed. You can't. Oh no!
No, you can't. You got to go.
Yeah, I've got to read this bit now. Thanks, Luke and I. You can't polish a turd as far as our attacking output is concerned. But Steve, you can also say you can roll it in glitter. Nazrul says solid foundation laid. Defensively, we look far more assured, even without key men. The clean sheet is huge after recent struggles. Creativity in attack is still lacking, and Morris felt isolated. But early signs under Bloomfield are encouraging. Big job, promising start. Frosty said he would tighten things up at the back, and in 3 days delivered that. Very early days, but a good start. Justin thought we were very solid defensively. We can see what everybody else is thinking. It's great.
Yeah.
The midfielder looked a lot better too, with Marvellous's best game for us this season.
Yeah.
Just need to get a goal from somewhere, which for me is the most worrying. As for Preston being poor, they set up for a draw and to stifle, and to a degree that worked. Lots more positives than negatives. And finally, Chris says, clean sheet was a positive, but something you'd hope for in the home games versus lower half teams. We look more solid, but still lack creativity and a clinical edge. My only criticism would be the subs were made too late, but it's a start.
Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? Because
it is definitely. It was better.
You can't really argue with any of that.
No, I think they're all bang on the money, to be honest with you.
I like Mark's comments because I think he's right. Rome wasn't built in a day, except we have not got that many days left.
No.
To make more mistakes. If we don't start winning, we will definitely get relegated, and we can't afford to have that happen, right?
No. Financially, that would be a real.
Well, not just financially, Steve. Just going forward. Can we then attract the sort of players we need? Can we then stay in the division? And then you've got to think, out of the top 4 or 5 in League One at the moment, lots of them have got crap loads of money. And Wrexham announced today they're going to build a 55,000 seater stadium. Goodness me! But they've got the money. Birmingham got the money. Wickham have got a billionaire owner.
Yeah.
If any of those don't go up, can we compete against them in them situations if we get relegated? So I don't want relegation to happen.
No, I think it would be very, very bad for us. But it is still very much in our hands. Points wise, we're nowhere near adrift. We're still level with plenty of teams, so it is down to us.
If you're going to Oxford tomorrow, see us there, say hello. It'd be nice to see you. Before we quit, it's going to be a quickie tonight, to be fair. Before we end up with this one, we've got to talk about score predictions for Oxford United. I don't know if Jacob's sent his over, has he?
I don't know. Let's have a quick look. I'm going to go 1-0.
To?
Us.
Oh, thank God for that.
I was going to say earlier, 1-0, Saunders and Steen. But
no, don't do that.
That shows how old we are. But I think 1-0 for us. I think, did Darren message us?
Yeah, you think you'd write these down before we start?
No, amateur, you see. Oh, he's gone 1-0.
Has he?
Yeah.
Right, he's sacked. Right, I'm going to go for a very optimistic 2-0 win, and I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just that's what I want to see. Yeah. I want to see that happen, and just enjoy an away game for that experience of winning.
Yeah. I
don't care how nasty the game is. I don't care how close we come to losing it. but can we just get those 3 points?
If it does turn into like a battle, to be honest with you, Dave, it would be good to see it, 'cause and I'd like to see sort of how the Luton players stand up for that, because I think we all want to see them standing up, doing their absolute everything. So whatever the game throws at us, I really want to see them step up to it tomorrow.
Yeah, well, look, we want them to throw bodies on the line. We want them to be strong in tackles. We want to see that commitment. And I know, do you know what? I know they've got it. I know they can do it. They just haven't shown us that. The only game they've shown us that in this season is Watford. We get performers like that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They're not sort of getting nowhere near us. Any other performance of the season,
yeah, then
it's going to be a very close game.
It is. But one thing that's going to really make a big difference and make people feel better is that Doughty's back in the squad for tomorrow for the Oxford game. 2.5 months, there's no doubt how much we've missed him.
I totally agree with you. And I'm just looking at some stats that producer Jacob put up for us. I mean, Oxford unbeaten in 6 games.
Yeah.
Unbeaten in 6. We haven't had a run like that. We need a run like that. Their last league game, they beat Blackburn.
Yeah, who are doing well.
So they're going to turn up and they're going to go, yeah, we can beat Luton.
And they can. It's up to us to sort of upset the apple cart, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Oxford's sold out. So if you're going, love to see you there.
Yeah.
Next 5 fixtures. Obviously we're waiting for the big transfer in, aren't we? Do you think that Matt's secretly going back to Wickham and going, right, we're going home for your man, what's his name, Cone?
Cone, yeah. It certainly hasn't ruled it out. He sort of said, well, there's no contractual obligation for us to keep our hands off. And I would like to think that if there's 2 championship clubs coming in with relatively similar offers,
because he knows who he is.
Yeah, if he knows him, then that would be good. I mean, I get the impression he's got some pace about him, but we just need someone to take the chances, don't we?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not looking.
Creative midfielder is equally as important as a goal scorer, though.
I was looking at tenacious midfielders, and we had one that we let go, Alan Campbell.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. I thought he sort of started slow, then got better. And then we shipped him out of favour at Millwall, and now he's looking to go back to Scotland. I thought he was better than that.
The first few games, he seemed to be off the pace, not quite there. But then I don't know if it was like a subtle tactical change or something. He was there. He was like an absolute madman. He was getting the tackles in. Then he started scoring goals. He scored against West Brom in a 2-0 win. He scored against Watford.
Brilliant. Legend for that.
Yeah, he scored a goal away. I can't remember where it was, but I thought his performances were really, really good. And the amount of work that he put in was just outrageous. Pretty much from day one of Rob Edwards, though, he didn't fancy him.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And it was absolutely immediate. I mean, I think a lot of people really, really liked him. I don't think he could have played at the Premier League level. However, I really do think that when he was in form, because he proved it already, he is a good Championship player. I mean, I know it's Scottish football, but you've got, I think it's Aberdeen and Rangers that are both looking at him. They're not rubbish clubs.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Well, if he ends up playing for Rangers, that's a big move for him.
Yeah.
Little thing, if you watch ladies football, if you watch the Ladies Hatters, the Luton Ladies, they progressed to the semi-final of the County Cup with an astonishing 11-0 victory in a quarter-final. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Well done to them. If you haven't seen them, maybe now's the time to go and watch the ladies as well in the semi-finals.
It's just to see a victory in a Luton shirt.
Well, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Next 5 fixtures: Oxford, Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland, and Sheffield United. Steve, we need at least 7 out of that, don't we?
We do need, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday are a much improved side from last season.
But they're not winning as often as you think they are.
No, but they had the better of us. I mean, we won that game, but they were the better team on the day. But I'll take that. I mean, Sunderland away is going to be such a difficult
and
one.
Midweek as well. Anyone who's travelling up to that, fair play.
Yeah, no, exactly. But we ideally really need to win tomorrow. Need to beat Millwall. It takes the pressure off maybe the next 3 after that.
Wow. I think we're there, Steve. I think
I've got to say a couple of hellos if I can, mate.
No.
Okay, then.
Go on.
No, I just want to say hello to Andy. He sits in the block next to us over to the left. He's been going to Luton awful long time. He actually come up and said hello. It was a couple of home games ago, but I was slightly amiss and forgot. So
Dementia.
Yeah, exactly. And on Saturday, had a chat with Eddie. He watches a couple of the Luton pods, but said he really enjoys R1. And yeah, had a chat with him. So it was nice to catch up.
Just another thought. I've just come into my head. Friend of the podcast, I like to call him Mark Crowther. My God, that man needs to just stop. But he's doing another charity thing. He's walking to games now. He got off his bike and he's using his 2 legs and his 2 feet to walk to games. Now, I'm not walking further than from the bus stop, from the bus stop to the entrance. That's it. I'm done. He's got to go. He's got a funding page up. If he hadn't seen it already, he's raising money for very, very good charities. Mm-hmm. Please go and support him if you've got some time and money to do that. Please do that.
What a lunatic!
Yeah, Mark. I know you know us, but you're mad.
Yeah,
you're literally mad. I hope the weather stays good for you when you're doing the first one. And on that note, we're going to finish today. Hopefully, we see you all at Oxford and we're celebrating a win, and then we get 3 points against Millwall, and then we'll be a lot happier, won't we?
Massive.
Until that time, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, I know I say it every week, like and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. If you're on the Spotify or any other places where you listen to us and don't see us, pop over to YouTube and see that both me and Steve are aging people. Like and subscribe, we'd be really grateful. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you for listening.
Take care.